Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. This video is going to be a newly updated top 5 weapons in this game, and then I'm also going to give some honorable mentions to the guns that, for me personally, it's really hard to pick a top 5 because there's usually about like 8 or 9 guns in this game that are really strong, but this is, in my opinion, the top 5 after patch 1.09, which of course came out the other day and also introduced a couple of new weapons. Well, there was 2 new melee weapons that were introduced, one on the 13th, one on the 11th, and then there's 2 new actual weapons, the SMG, the Daemon 3XP, and the assault rifle, the SWAT RFT. Gonna talk about, in my opinion, the top 5 guns in no particular order, talk about why I think they are so good, and then give some honorable mentions. If you guys could drop a like on this video, I would very much appreciate it. I know you guys do enjoy these videos, and every time there are significant updates like this, I feel the need to, because my list has changed quite a bit. There's probably maybe 2, I think 2 of these from the last list, that maybe it's 3 that remain, but a lot of them have been switched out, and we'll talk more about that in honorable mentions. So smack that like button, guys. I'd very much appreciate it if we could go for 2,000 likes. I know it is a lot to ask for, but you guys usually really do enjoy these videos, so 2,000 likes would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. On that road to 1 million, I would very much appreciate that. And like I said, these are in no particular order, because if you're an SMG player, you're going to prefer the SMGs on my list compared to the, you know, assault rifles or tactical rifles or whatever I put on the list, right? So let's break it down. Let's get right into it. The first one is this KN57. Now, this KN57, in my opinion, is a top tier assault rifle, and in my personal opinion, it's the second best assault rifle in this game as of right now. And even if you throw the rapid fire on this, it makes it have a faster time to kill than even the Maddox, which is the fastest time to kill weapon. This weapon is awesome because most guns of the assault rifle category are 5 to 6 shot kills. This one is a 4 to 5 shot kill, along with, or it's actually 4 to 6, but up to close, the 4 to 5 shot kill range, especially along with the Rampart. However, when we're comparing the KN to the Rampart of course has way more bounce and a slower fire rate. This gun, especially with the rapid fire, it pretty much has not too much recoil, especially if you know how to control recoil and pull against the recoil patterns. This gun can do absolute work. And this KN57, in my opinion, I love to run it with the hybrid mags, which is a great attachment available on it. Stock, which you'll see stock is a main key that I talk about. Stock, hybrid mags, and rapid fire. This gun will destroy at close to medium ranges, which is perfect for this game because you need an assault rifle that you can rely on for like medium range, but you also need something that can destroy people when they try to rush you up at close range. So that's why I like the KN57. I think it deserves a spot on this list. I don't think it's the most best gun overall, but it is a very close to the top and definitely is a top 5 weapon. Next, the first SMG on this list, and this list actually makes history because I think this is the first time I've ever done a top 5 and included 2 SMGs on it, because I do think SMGs are getting a little bit better in this space. But anyway, we'll talk about the Sog 9mm, right? Why is this gun right here? Now, the Sog 9mm and the Maddox are the 2 weapons that professional players go to. Now, a lot of stuff is banned in professional play, such as rapid fire, even gung ho. One of the most, definitely the most important perk is banned, so they all have to use different perks. So basically, when it comes down to the Sog 9mm, why is this weapon used and why is this a top SMG? Well, the fact is that if we compare this to another weapon like the Spitfire, which the Spitfire is not in my top 5, but it is in my honorable mentions, this gun actually beats the Spitfire at pretty much everything except fire rate and time to kill up close. So if you're, you know, fighting a person right up close, yes, that Spitfire will kill them in a split second faster, but when we're talking about reload times, when we're talking about magazine size, when we're talking about aim down sight time, when we're talking about the ability to hit shots at more than right beside them, the Sog 9mm excels in that category, and it still has around a 900 fire rate. So it's not 1,000 plus like the Spitfire, but it still has the second fastest fire rate out of any of the SMGs, and it isn't too out of control. This isn't a weapon that is too hard to control. By the way, this gameplay here is me with a Great Lion variant of it, which I uploaded the other day because this was like the new variant I got from the triple play. But this weapon is the exact same normally, it just has a different default sight. This one reminds me a lot of the XMC or the MSMC from previous Call of Duties. Of course, it was the Black Ops 2, the MSMC, and then brought back into Black Ops 3 as the XMC. And if you are someone that likes you know, the playstyle of an SMG in this game. I really think that just the way that like kill streaks dominate in this game, and even though the new specialist kind of counters them a little bit, or quite a bit actually, it's kind of BS, but I really do think that the playstyle of ARs fits better into this game. However, there's quite a few maps. We're talking Morocco, we're talking Summit, we're talking Slums and Nuketown. You can kind of go either way, but there's quite a few maps in this game that favor SMGs, and if you get good with subs, you can do some work, and the Sog 9mm is definitely a great spot to start at. The attachments I use on this one, I believe the attachments I go with on this are fast mags, quick draw, and then grip, and this makes it have an insanely fast reload time. I don't throw stock on this because it's an SMG, it's sort of built in, and with that I just sort of buff up my weapon and make this thing an absolute beast. Coming in next on this list is going to be a tactical rifle. Now I'm going to explain why I picked each of these, and of course a lot of guns are on my honorable mentions. You guys can leave your top fives down in the comment section down below as well. Smack that like button also. But this is the tactical rifle that made the list. One tactical rifle made the list this time, and it is the ABR. Now I have a tough choice because okay, the auger and the swordfish are better statistical weapons for the most part than the ABR, but they're missing out on one main thing, which is those weapons don't have stock. And stock is so needed on a weapon like a tactical rifle, because if you catch me close range with the auger without stock or the swordfish without stock, I'm sort of swinging my gun in the air, jumping around, and I'm like a fish out of water. I personally, this is more of like a personal preference, I really don't play that well without stock, and the ability to have a weapon that sort of makes you feel like a statue instead of mobile, I would much rather go with the ABR, especially with the repeater operator mod, which allows you to ramp it up, hold that down, and this is a burst weapon that you got to think, you know, adjust. Normally Call of Duty health was 100, in this game it's 150, so adjusting for that, this weapon will standard kill people in usually around 2 bursts. It's pretty consistent, and the other stuff that you get to deal with, you could either run with this with the operator mod, without the operator mod. It works great both ways. And by the way, I forgot, operator mods are something that comes into this list because we're talking top 5 weapons for Black Ops 4 multiplayer, right? And I forgot to mention about the Sog 9mm. That weapon also does have a great where it basically becomes akimbo as an operator mod. It kind of changes the playstyle, but that's what you can rock with as far as that. So when it comes down to the tactical rifles, I put the ABR here just because there's a new variant for it. It's cool, it's in a good spot in the meta. It got some buffs a little bit ago, and it's nice to use, and it's really nice to get 1 to 2 burst kills, and the convenience of the repeater allowing you to hold down the trigger and let the burst ramp up, sort of like I call this like the XR2 from Black Ops 3, but a better version. That's why I really like this. Usually what I'll rock is simply the stock, and then I'll run the operator mod, and then usually extended mags as the next attachments, or I would run with grip. It all depends. Usually that's my combo, is the 2 attachments and then an operator mod when I go all in on operator mods. So this gun isn't something that's going to one burst people or destroy them, but if you want a standard gun that can melt people at range, you're going to win gunfights at range with this. It's just a quick boom boom, and you actually just hold the trigger down to burst people at range, and it also does good at close range. You can see, I mean, I got the last couple of gameplays I posted with this weapon are on Summit, or on this map, or on Summit, or on smaller maps as well, Contraband or Summit, and I really do think that you won't see me, you know, doing too well with the swordfish or auger on smaller maps. Those ones are great for maps like jungle or you know, larger maps where you can create spacing between people. Even a map like slums or firing range, I can create spacing, but that's what we have. Next is this new SMG, and yes, a new gun has made this list as top 5 weapons. Now this is my personal list, and this weapon is unlocked at level 50 of the new tier system of the Contraband stream for this Operation Absolute Zero event. So this weapon is basically can be unlocked for, you can purchase it and purchase the tiers up, or you can unlock this weapon free just over, it should take, you know, a couple of weeks or so of playing. If you play a normal amount, if you play an absurd amount, people probably already have this unlocked. But why is this weapon so good, and why is this, I think this is the second SMG to make this list, and it's groundbreaking that there's actually 2 SMGs that are good in this game. And while this is a DLC weapon, this is a burst DLC weapon, and usually I'm not a fan of burst weapons. However, with this one, the time between those bursts, you got to be smashing that trigger to make sure you get those 2 bursts off quick, and because because it's an SMG, which traditionally kill in 6 to 9 shots, this gun is a 3-round burst, so you're traditionally killing in 2 bursts up close if you do hit all those shots, or 3 bursts at range if you're missing a couple of shots. And this gun, by the way, it's kind of uncontrollable past medium range. This is made for close range, and it's sort of like, you know, a Sog 9mm or a Spitfire. It's a close range gun, but it's a burst, and if you enjoy burst, and you have to be able to tap that trigger fast, because the delay here is so little, like, you could be actually hurting yourself by not tapping the triggers fast enough. This gun is really wicked, and the attachments available on this thing also, high caliber does not allow you to get a 1 burst kill. You'll still be getting a 2 burst kill at minimum, but it does allow you to hit them for like 80 or 90% of their health with 1 burst, and this thing is wicked. If you like the ABR, or you like, you know, a Spitfire, or not even Spitfire, the Swordfish, or the ABR, or the Auger, this is like a tactical rifle in SMG form, because you can actually maneuver around. And GKS Quad Shot, which was previously the only, well, it was just an operator mod that made the GKS into a burst weapon. This weapon blows it out of the water, and this is definitely a very, very good weapon. This one, the Spitfire and the Sog, top 3 SMGs up close for sure, and then the Cordite probably number 4. You can see 2 burst kills are happening when I'm up close, and when I'm farther, I'm hitting 3 to 4 burst kills, but they come out, the bullets come out of the gun so quick that it's not that big of a deal. I do think this gun deserves a spot. And then coming in at the last one, this is what I think is still the best gun in the game. I don't think patch 1.09 changed that. It did change some other stuff about weapons like the Titan and other things we're going to talk about, but the Maddox is still the best gun in the game, man. And the fact is that the Maddox has, you can either run it with the operator mod or without the operator mod. Either way, it has the fastest time to kill off base than any of the other assault rifles. This thing has, if we go to the stats of as an assault rifle, this gun has almost a 750 rounds per minute, which is absolutely crazy. Over 800 with Echo Fire, and its time to kill blows out pretty much everything other than the KN57 out of the water, out of these assault rifles. It's a 5 to 6 shot kill, and your damage fall-offs aren't too bad on this thing as well. Its fast fire rate allows you to be able to beat SMGs up close sometimes, and this is just what you're looking for as far as the go-to. If there was money on the line in a gameplay and I had to play my best, this is the gun I'm going to on pretty much every single map, because of how effective it is. You know, maybe not on, like, honestly, Morocco is probably the map that favors SMGs the most, because that one is just so, the lines of sight are so tight on that one, although there are some that are kind of long also by the A site, I think it is, by A domination, when you're looking down from the upwards of B down to A. But yeah, Maddox is still the go-to gun. Nothing has changed that. You can run this thing with normal attachments, quick draw, stock, and fast mags. Also, it has stock available, which is a major key. You'll see when I point out the 3 ones that made this list of that aren't SMGs all have stock available, and that's what I run with that. Or you can run with the Echo Fire, which allows it to give it a firing blowback system and increases the basically the time to kill, but it makes it harder to control at range, and that's sort of your trade-off right there. When I run that, I usually just rock with the stock on it and then the operator mod, or I'll rock with the 3 attachments: stock, quick draw, and fast mags without the operator mod. So it's personal preference, but yeah, I mean, all competitive players use this weapon. They'll go with the Maddox pretty much all the time in respawn. It's pretty much only Maddoxes and Sog 9mm, and for good reason. Just statistically, this weapon is amazing, and also practically, the practicality of this weapon. The recoil isn't too bad. It's pretty much mostly vertical recoil, where if you go into a private match on firing range, you shoot up against the wall and you practice pulling down your thumbstick against the recoil. You can figure out how to maneuver around it quite easily, and that's why I think the Maddox still is. Like I said, these guns are in no particular order, but for the Maddox, we kind of have to put it in order. This is coming in at number 1 for sure. And then when it comes down to honorable mentions, like I said, honorable mention to the Spitfire, which I think is so great, and it comes in as the 3rd SMG in my opinion. I know other people will like it as number 1 or 2, but I'm just basing off of statistics and my personal preference. I think Spitfire is great. It's just, it all depends. Do you want do you want that up close, where Spitfire would probably be the best on like Morocco, but on like Summit or Slums or something, you probably want to go with a Sog 9mm or a Daemon instead. And then honorable mention to the Spitfire, to the two tactical rifles who do not have stock. That's definitely their big downside, is not having stock, and that's why I go with the ABR. And then the Titan also. I'd put the Titan at number 6. The Titan is probably one of the most used weapons in this game, and the fact is that it was nerfed in the latest patch update. They made it so that the flinch mitigation isn't as strong on the LMGs and or on the Titan, and that was something that was with the LMGs, and of course they changed that in the latest patch update, which affects the Titan and is quite a big nerf to the Titan. Although this weapon, because of how strong the operator mod is, and just so many people use the Titan, It's probably one of the most used guns in the game, and it has one of the best operating mods, so I will put that probably as my sixth man coming straight off the bench, the Titan, just because its fire rate and time to kills are so slow. But if you want consistency, a gun you can rely on for more of an average player, the Titan can be absolutely amazing. If you want that fastest time to kill, though, and those wicked weapons, these 5 are amazing. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Have a great night. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this list. Like I said, this is my personal list. You guys can leave yours down in the comment section down below. Check out some of my other videos up on the screen right now. I'd very much appreciate that. And this has been like a 15-minute video, so if you guys made it to the end of this video, I think it definitely deserves some likes. Definitely deserves for you guys to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And this is after patch 1.09, where the Titan was nerfed, new weapons have been added, but of course a lot of updates that happened before that and around there also. Thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Have a great night, and I'm out. Peace.